There in the distance I can already see the higher peaks beginning to appear. We will soon be riding in that area. Good morning and welcome back to Werner's View channel. Thanks for joining me again for a trip that I'm looking forward to very much. These trips started already yesterday when I left Cape Town. I went to interesting places from Paarl over the Nieuwoudts Pass and also all the way to Wuppertal in the Cederberg. At the moment I'm finding myself in Clanwilliam. Suddenly have to take a bit of a dirt road to sandy dirt road to get out of here. Was not expecting dirt road riding in the town, but yeah, let's do it. If you haven't watched the previous video, you can see the trip I did to Clanwilliam from Wuppertal, riding the fantastically beautiful Algeria Pass. Please go and have a look if you've not seen it. I really am getting lost a bit in Clanwilliam. Hopefully this road will get me back on track. I'm really riding the back roads of Clanwilliam. I will tell you about the trip for today shortly. Let me just dodge the dogs and get out of Clanwilliam. I took a bit of a turn from the main road and suddenly I'm lost a bit. But yeah, the GPS is trying to guide me out of here. Okay, where am I now? Okay, at least some tar road again. The trip I'm planning now is riding from Clanwilliam all the way to Citrusdal. Obviously I'm not going to take the main N7 highway or main road to get to Citrusdal. I'm looking at very beautiful back roads to get there, and I decided to take the back roads alongside the Clanwilliam Dam all the way to the Algeria Campsite in the Cederberg. That is a beautiful dirt road with beautiful scenery, and I've got a particular reason to go to Algeria. It is because it's a campsite that I love and we've camped there quite a few times already. I want to go and have a look because in July last year there was some significant flooding in that area, and apparently there was quite a lot of damage, so much so that the Algeria campsite, as far as I know, is closed at the moment. Oh, hitting the dirt road straight away. It was only a year or two ago that they fixed the Algeria campsite again after some flood damage. So it is very unfortunate that they are struggling to maintain that campsite. But yeah, for now, let's enjoy the ride. I think we're going to soon see the Clanwilliam Dam. But let me just try and get past these bumpy parts. There you can see quite a big part of the Clanwilliam Dam. It stretches there into the distance as well. The Clanwilliam Dam is actually quite an important dam for this area, and it is used a lot for irrigation. This dam was at critically low levels during the drought period around 2018 or so, but it has filled up very nicely now, and it has been consistently full over the good rainy seasons during the past 2 or 3 winters. The first dam wall I think was already constructed in 1910, and then it was increased the height of the dam wall. I cannot remember the date exactly, but apparently the dam wall is at a 43-meter height, and there are further plans to increase the height of this dam wall. I'm not sure if the work has started already, but it is certainly part of the plan that will increase the capacity of this dam significantly. Yeah, so it's a very important water reservoir and resource for this area. This is of course the Olifants River that feeds this dam, and the Olifants River runs all the way there from Citrusdal as well, and this Olifants River valley is quite an important agricultural area in South Africa. Immediately onto the dirt roads. This is great. Algeria is not too far away. It's only about 25 kilometers along this route, so it should not take us too long. The road is a bit bumpy, but at least I can keep a bit of a consistent speed. If you have not watched some of the other videos on this trip that started already with my journey yesterday from Cape Town, please go and have a look. I have seen some beautiful parts and I've ridden some really rough roads, especially that part between Ceres and Wuppertal, the Eerstelbank area. That's the most sandy roads I've ever ridden with a motorcycle, so it was a bit of a struggle. Please go and have a look if you're interested to see a bit of my struggles. Yeah, the dam is really quite stretched out here. The beauty of the Cederberg continues. The rock formations and the variation of sites that you get in the Cederberg always amazes me. I will never grow tired of this. And I think Algeria, where I'm heading now, is probably the most prominent and well-known campsite in the Cederberg. The plan for today is to go to Algeria and ride past Algeria, also a bit further to the Cederberg Pass, which is just a beautiful stretch of road in the Cederberg. But then I will make a turnaround there and then return to Citrusdal via yet another pass, the Nieuwoudts Pass, which would also, I think, prove to be a very beautiful road. This road sign simply says Cederberg, so if you want to go to the Cederberg, this is the road. Okay, let's go. There in the distance I can already see the higher peaks beginning to appear. We will soon be riding in that area. This is now a steep descent. Of course, these roads are quite easy to ride during the summertime when there's not really rain, but come winter it becomes a different story. I think this is quite a good time of the year to ride it, especially today. It's not particularly hot. It is the 2nd of February today, and typically this is the time of the year where it can get extremely hot in this area. For temperatures to go above 40 degrees is quite common during this time of the year, but today it is relatively cool, and I don't think I'm going to experience temperatures even reaching 30 degrees. This just makes for excellent riding conditions. Yeah. Look at this beautiful valley. It's really nestled here in between these steep inclines. I'm not sure what trees this are. It's most likely some citrus, some orange trees, because this area is famous for its citrus. And that is also why the town of Citrusdal has been named Citrusdal. So we will probably see a lot of these citrus trees along the route today. This is such a pleasant ride this morning. We are getting closer to Algeria now. It's only about 6 kilometers. Not sure if you can see, but there is a car riding up there. We will later today take that route. That is the Nieuwoudts Pass for some beautiful views over this valley. But for now we're just heading straight to Algeria and also beyond. I want to go and have a look at the Cederberg Pass. How can you come to the Cederberg but you don't ride the Cederberg Pass? Any excuse to ride a beautiful road. Now this road is quite a bit bumpy. I'm trying to maintain a bit of speed, but cannot really do so. Hovering around 40 to 50 kilometers an hour. But it doesn't really matter if you have these kind of views, does it? Okay, so we reached the turn off on the road that actually goes to Citrusdal. But we are basically at Algeria. The campsite is actually completely closed. It's been many months now, since July last year. So we're talking about 7 going for 8 months. I can unfortunately not go down, which I understand. They are a bit worried about loose ground and areas that has really flooded away a bit. But let's continue with the trip along this road towards the Cederberg Pass and enjoy a bit of the views. Let's go. There you can see the famous large trees of Algeria Campsite. Oh, completely empty. What would you expect this time of the year to see some campers here? Unfortunately not. So there you can see where it goes over the neck is the highest point of Cederberg Pass, and we are going to ride to that highest point to enjoy the views. This piece of paved road goes on for quite some distance and makes for relatively easy riding, but it is guiding us towards that highest point over there. That's the only way out from here. They say flood damage repairs. It's as if this road is in constant flood damage repairs. It must be quite a daunting task. This was a dirt road, I think, not too long ago, so maybe by converting it to asphalt or tar it will maintain it a bit better, or make it a bit more resilient against these continuous big rainy events over the winter period. But this part looks very neat. So I think most of the construction work may be on the side of the pass. Okay, so this is the part of the pass that climbs quite quickly. So this is of course the road that if you continue with it, it will take you all the way to the Citrusdal caves again and Nieuwoudts River Nature Reserve. So this is the beautiful road that's just a shortcut there. So it is indeed beautiful to ride, but my route is going a little bit in a different direction for this trip. But I still just want to see what the top of the Cederberg Pass looks like. It's still steady climbing, but we are almost at the top. This is the top, and obviously some road works, but there's less work here than when we were last year, so they're obviously making quite good progress. But just look at the valley there in front of us. It's always a fascinating feature, these rocks that are obviously broken off there from the top and rolled down, so you can see how spread out it is, and some of them of course rolled further. I find this fascinating, how with time passing this kind of erosion takes place. Just look how beautiful. Okay, let me make a turn around here and not continue with this road. Leave this for another day. Now heading back to Algeria down the Cederberg Pass. I think it's a completely different view from this side. You can now see back in the valley that I came in from Clanwilliam earlier this morning. But you can also see the road splitting up. May not be visible on the camera, but I came in with the valley road, but we will exit now with the one going steep up the mountain, which is the Nieuwoudts Pass, which surely will make for beautiful viewing while we ride. But yeah, this is just a beautiful, beautiful place. We are now making our way to Citrusdal. It is about 51 kilometers from here, so not too far to go. So I'm now back at the office of Algeria. Okay, now on to the Nieuwoudts Pass and Citrusdal. And some dirt road riding once again. Good. So I think it's going to be a continuous climb for quite a distance now. now reached the highest point. So now another bit of downhill riding that will take us down to the Olifants River valley. Yeah, it's a bit of a wind coming through this neck area. Cederberg area is a very popular place for tourists and visitors. It's quite easily accessible with a normal car, so there's nothing, I think, stopping anybody from just coming to explore this area. It's such a lovely wilderness area. You don't have to drive very far and then you are in the wilderness, and you actually feel much more isolated than you probably are. I just love making that transition from a busy city, ride a short distance, and then being in the isolation and the beauty. The Cederberg never disappoints. We are approaching the Olifants River now, and this is of course the main river flowing through this valley, and also the main cause for lots of flooding, typically during winter time. I'm going to take the road to Citrusdal that turns off before we get to the river, but I'm just going to ride over the Nieuwoudt bridge. You can see it's quite a low water bridge, but it's quite wide, and it is quite common for water to flow quite strongly over this bridge. Let's have a look. Yeah, you can just see from all the sand. That's crazy to think that the water level easily crosses over this bridge. I will put in a clip at this part of the video of what the Nieuwoudt bridge looks like under flood conditions. It is a completely different picture. But let's continue on to Citrusdal. We will now follow the Olifants River upstream until we reach Citrusdal. Everywhere you can see white sand. It typically can be covered by water when this river comes down. And this area is of course very famous for its citrus farming. So lots of oranges are produced here and other citrus fruit. Very fertile. Oh, the wide expanse of the Olifants River. There on the other side is of course the N7 main road. I'm trying to stay off it. So far I'm managing, but I think after Citrusdal I will have to get on it a bit. Oh, this is a lovely little ride. It's just very interesting to keep the changes of the river in view the whole time. Yeah, and suddenly the dirt road is finished. Yeah, so that was the dirt roads for this part of the Cederberg. This tar road will now take us all the way to Citrusdal, which is still about 18 kilometers away. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy this ride at even a little bit higher speeds all the way now to Citrusdal. I've now made it into the town of Citrusdal. This is of course the hub of the citrus producing activities in this area. I must say this town has got a lot of stop streets. Citrusdal is quite a large town, but it doesn't have the same old building character like some of the towns in the surrounding area, like Clanwilliam, and if you further go down the N7 to Cederberg, and also a town like Portable was actually constituted as a town much more recent than most of these other towns. I think more out of necessity to have a hub here in this agricultural area. Yeah, this is the street in which you will also find the Dutch Reformed Church of Citrusdal. I think that is the church in front, which is also a more modern building compared to other towns in the area. Yeah, this is the church. Yeah, so I made a stop here in the church grounds of the Dutch Reformed Church in Citrusdal just to stretch a bit of legs and also have a bit of a drink of water. I haven't had quite a drink in quite a long time. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me on this ride from Clanwilliam to Citrusdal on the less obvious route. Typically you will just ride down the N7. I of course took the back roads via Algeria and also the Cederberg Pass and also the Nieuwoudts Pass, and yeah, I've enjoyed it immensely. I hope you enjoyed doing this ride with me, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, and yeah, until the next trip, see you in the next video. Bye bye.